ones, but this is on the bus in Toronto, and people are just watching by and standing by as this transgendered person on a Toronto transit bus is just shaving their pubes.
We don't need to do that.
Eric, nobody has a problem with it. Toronto is in a mayoral race right now between communist lady, comedian, anti-lockdown activist, Toronto Sun reporter for 20 years or something. And this is what they're up against. All you have to do is not vote for the crazy person. I promise you, Toronto. All you have to do is not vote for the crazy person, not vote for the communist who said she wants to raise taxes. You can vote for the guy who says he's going to end bike lanes. That'll make your life better. The traffic's insane there. You can vote for the guy who's a comedian who says, everything's everything's going to be trans because he's not serious, but he's actually smarter than that, and he's going to do better than what you've already got there, which is this. You can vote for the anti-lockdown activist, Chris Sky. He actually is probably going to lower taxes and do less insane things. When you have an insane society, which you have in Toronto, where this is nobody's kicking them off the bus, nobody's saying, hey, stop, that's disgusting. Some guy sitting to his right, some person sitting facing him or her, and nobody's doing anything. This is your society has crumbled, okay? When this is allowed on a bus, society has crumbled, and they don't want to admit that. All they care about in downtown Toronto is, are we getting sidewalk painted rainbow flags? Can we get this coffee made a little bit faster? Can it have 75 different flavors? Can I go to a cat cafe? Is there a communist cafe, which actually just closed, an anti-capitalist cafe, which told people that they can pay what they feel they should? Closed. Surprise, surprise. This is Toronto. It will soon turn into Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, San Francisco if you do not do anything. This is Canada, frankly. Toronto's just the worst of it. Vancouver's probably even worse, but there's not as much crime. I don't think there's Asian street gangs, but I don't know. I'm not from there. I've never been there. But this is society you will get. And what I predict, Eric, last thing here to quote you, is if things do not turn around, in Ontario, where the premier, the governor, is now saying, who cares about the forestry? Who cares about it? Even though he ran on it, he ran on not destroying what's called the green belt. He's saying, who cares about it now? You're stupid if you care about these lines drawn on a map. What you will see is people leaving this province like they have left California and New York. You'll see them go out west to the flatlands of Manitoba and Saskatchewan, because that's the only places left in the country where it's not absolutely insane and overpopulated. We are breaking immigration records, over 1 million people, and more than half of them come to Ontario, and they're like, what's wrong? The housing prices? We just need to build more townhouses. That's their solution for everything. More townhouses, you guys. Let's you want to be able to own a home? Well, own a townhouse with 7 people inside of it, and your neighbors have 20 people inside of it. And you can't afford it. Your mortgage is going to be like $4 or $5 grand a month, but at least you'll have something, right? We can't slow down the immigration. We can't build on larger plots of land. This is impossible. This is what Canadians want, Eric. This is what they voted for 10 years almost. This is what they will continue to vote for in places like Toronto. I have no hope. Hope is gone. I would like to leave.
Okay.
What? When I rant, Eric, it's unacceptable?
No, I hate to break this to you.
Burner this, and
I hate to break this to you.
Tulsi Gabbard that.
Well, here's my point. Is that, unfortunately, I mean, this is not the worst that I've seen. Kind of like the Joe Biden clip that we had earlier. Like this, yeah, it's disgusting. I wouldn't want to see that on a bus, on a train, or anything. But like, you got to understand, bro. You've seen people literally relieving themselves on trains, on the subway platform, with people walking around. So this, I mean, we already made it, bro. That's what I'm saying. I hate to break it to you. Like, it already happened. Like, this is the bottom of the slope, right? Like, shaving your pubes, bro, that's vanilla. That's 2017. That's 2018. It's a joke, bro. You have people, I mean, I was actually looking through some pictures on my old iPhone.
And guys shaving their pubes?
No, of people, of human feces. Dude, the point is, while yes, very disgusting, and a picture of the decay happening across the Western world, it's not the worst I've seen. And we already reached the peak, right? So you say, oh well, if we don't get this ship turned around, it's gonna hit the iceberg. It's too late. It already hit, right? We're just circling the drain right now. I realize it's a very like black pill type of thing, but there's the powers that be have basically had their way. And we should have known this. We should have known this was true when they forced you to show paperwork to get into a restaurant, when they forced you to wear a mask to buy groceries, right? It wasn't that long ago. So we've already hit the iceberg. And people probably won't like that either. I don't know how we claw our way out of it. I'm not going to sit here and say, okay, well, let's just give up and let the zombies, sometimes you think like if you're in a zombie apocalypse, you're like, well, wouldn't it be easier to just let the zombie eat me and then I don't have to worry about it? I don't have to be scared anymore. But so I don't know how we continue to fight back. I'm not suggesting we sit down or we lay down and let them run roughshod over us, but this is not as shocking to me as it is to you for whatever reason. And I want to make one other comparison about all the other problems that you guys have and that we have too. It's very similar to what we saw in San Francisco just a couple of days ago. They have crowned a drag laureate. Nobody even knows what that means. Apparently, this person is going to get paid a lot of money to be San Francisco's drag laureate, while they can't stop the fentanyl from poisoning people in the Tenderloin. They can't stop the smash and grab robberies. They can't stop the car break-ins, which I guess is a slightly different from a smash and grab. They can't stop the businesses like Walgreens and Nordstrom and Saks Fifth Avenue from fleeing, but they do have a man dressed up like a woman who's going to get paid more than $100,000 a year just because. So we already reached the pinnacle, bro. It's like at this point we can only hope, in my humble opinion, that we sort of this is going to be dark. We need to accelerate the whole thing and bounce back the other way.
Accelerationist, wow.
I mean, what else, or what? Are we just slow crawl there? It's like a Band-Aid, bro. Rip it off. Let's do it. Let's go back the other way. Let's hit the wall hard and go back the other way. Weird tiptoeing that we're doing to where, we're letting Joe Biden drive the country and arguably the Western world into the ground.
Shout out crash test dummies that are now women as well as men, and shout out the new Walking Dead spinoff, which looks terrible.
Turn it up, Jordan.